Hey, Jules Bless Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. Sadly, it is 12:30 in the morning, and if I could, I would work all night trying to get ready for Monday at school, which of course is home, because I'm distance learning, right? Oh my gosh, people, I have not found balance that way. Prayers welcome. But I wanted to check in with Jules Bless Vegan, and I just wanted to share this really important quote about seeing our inner child and treating them fairly. So I will include this as the icon of the video, but I wanted to break it down with you. I often talk about my monkey mind, which, tends to haunt me and be out of control. But that's something that comes upon me. Sadly, the inner child is something that I come upon. So it says it's time you stop committing child abuse on yourself, right? Growing up has never meant numbing your inner child. And yet anyone who uses food for numbing knows that that is something they tend to do. So growing up has never meant numbing your inner child. Every time you are harsh and overcritical of yourself, you are being an abusive parent to your inner child, right? That's just so straight up. I really, really get that. And I really get it because God gave me the gift years ago to see people's inner childs. So often I will see the most vulnerable part of someone. I'll be watching a news brief, and instead of seeing the police captain, I'll see a scared little boy. Or I'll see a politician, and I'll see that little kid inside them. So I actually do see inner children. And for myself, sometimes I'll be sobbing, but I know that the sobbing doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my smallest self. And my inner child will be doing that cry where a kid can't catch their breath while they're crying like that. And I'll know that it's my inner child crying. I know, it's incredible, but it's true. So it says, every time you're harsh and overcritical of yourself, you are being an abusive parent to your inner child. And I came from hypercritical parents, even though, praise God, they lived long enough and I grew up to come to love and appreciate them and have an amazing relationship. But as a child, there was a lot of hypercriticism, and sadly, I carried that into my life. And I haven't improved that much. I might be an 8 on a scale of 12, which is pretty great, but I'm not all the way there by any means, and some days are worse than others, but I'm getting there. But I always have to remind myself to be kind. And so it says, therefore, you sever your source of joy. It is time you start talking to yourself like a loving and nurturing parent would talk to their beloved child. And I get that. And I try so hard to be so much kinder to myself, but it's a struggle. And also I have to kind of assess whom I'm responding from. Sometimes when I think of the different foods that I'm desperately wanting to binge on, I recognize that that is a kid running the show, because that is not food any adult in their right mind would eat. The combinations are not food that an adult would prepare. So I'm like, okay, am I accidentally responding for my child right now? So it's just an interesting awareness, but I kind of wondered, where are you with that? Some people who were modeled by very appropriate parents who weren't critical don't have this problem. But society itself, and even children just in a classroom, unfortunately can adopt these behaviors, even though it may not have come from their belly button family. And I'm sorry for that too. But we all process everything through our own filter. So our response to life has to be filtered through our eyes first. And that can be beautiful, but it can be kind of harsh and ugly too. So let's go back. I'll read it in its entirety. It says, it is time you stop committing child abuse on yourself. Growing up has never meant numbing your inner child. Every time you are harsh and overcritical of yourself, you are being an abusive parent to your inner child. Therefore, you sever your source. It's so hard to say that. Sever your source of joy. It is time you start talking to yourself like a loving and nurturing parent would talk to their beloved child. It's a beautiful intention and a great goal to have. I am going to ponder that, and I may be doing a couple of talks on inner children and how best to care for ourselves. All right, my friends, this had to be brief because, again, I'm not going to get to bed before 1 in the morning. I had a goal for 4 a.m. I may or may not hit, and I certainly have school tomorrow, but I wanted to check in with you guys and share that profound quote. As always, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Make sure you comment below and let me know where you're at with your inner child. And until we talk again, know that I pray for you and trust that you're blessed.